Hello, hello, it looks like I'm live. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, I might have the brightness up a little high. I can fix that. How's everyone doing tonight? I am Ted, look at me. I know it's been a while, I got a beard now. So, we're gonna do a great painting, of course. I know it's been a while, and when people pop into the chat, you'll be able to say hi to me and talk and all that sort of stuff. So I'll get into the explanations of why I'm doing a stream a little later. Let's go ahead and get going. We've got a 16 by 20 canvas painted with the black gesso. And then on top of the black gesso, we've got liquid clear. And then a mixture of phthalo green, a mixture of phthalo blue with sap green. Okay, more green than blue. I was going to do one of my favorite paintings here, and what better way to do it with this nice black canvas, and I thought I would get started. Look at this palette here. We got our white, blue, brown, green, dark sienna. Here's that mixture, and then of course our Indian yellow, cad yellow, yellow ochre, bright red, phthalo blue, Van Dyke brown, sap green. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is take our number 6 fan brush. Number 6? Yeah, the big one. The large fan brush. And we're just going to dive right in. Get a big portion of the titanium white. There we go. Loading it up good. And we're just going to cut in some bright stuff here. Oh, look at that. We're doing a deep in the woods type deal today. And just by throwing this on here, what I don't paint actually is going to start looking like trees. So there's always a method to the madness with the Bob style paintings. Might not know exactly what it's going to look like at first when you just start throwing all this color up there. Soon enough you start to realize that it all is taking shape, and all you did was do a few little taps and you can make your own masterpiece. Look at that. There we go. That's all we need to do. And you can bring those two together. You can go back and forth like that. Whatever you like. And then I'm going to take my handy 2-inch brush. Just like that. And we're going to just sweep up and down. And I'm not really working on any one spot. Look at that. I'm just going straight across, up and down. Right on across, up and down, blending those streaks together. And you get to see the magic start to happen here. Bringing the white paint into the darker areas. Getting it nice and soft and silky like. And if you want, you can always come back here and throw in a little extra color wherever you like. If you think one area needs to be brighter. And then knock it down again with the 2-inch brush, and look at that. You get some instant bright areas. There we go. Pretty simple. Oh, here we go. We got some people. Justin, nice to see you. Oh my gosh. Yes, Marie is our mod. She is wonderful. Hi, Marie. Nice to see you again. And oh, Justin, do you know from Marie from Bob Ross' main channel? Could be. Nope, not that one, Justin. Not Secluded Forest, but you're working on it. I know. Look at that. 8 months of beard growth. Thanks, pandemic. So Keep guessing. She is a pro. It just happens to look like it. It's a different episode altogether. I know the name of the episode. What is it? No, it's an earlier episode than that one. She is everywhere. No, I've been mostly streaming on Reddit, the RPAN subreddit. It's a live stream, and I don't know. It's just been going crazy there. I got it's like a 45-minute time limit, so it's always like helps me paint better when I know that there's a deadline, and so I've just learned to paint faster. And if I'm doing going out and doing demonstrations and stuff, it's nice to know now I've got a repertoire of paintings that I know I can get done in 30 to 45 minutes, and have them look pretty decent rather than fiddle with it for 2.5 hours on that I was doing like on Twitch. So, but I got to pop back in here for a while. I did Twitch for a year and a half, and once a week, and that's how I met Marie. And some things come up, and said, what the heck, let's do Twitch tonight. I've been getting people from Reddit following me here on Twitch, so this is also for them if any of them decide to show up. There you go, Noise Boy. You got it. It's Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods. One of my favorite movies, one of my favorite Bob Ross paintings. So, yep. Now, oh, I know what we got to do. Look at that. I forgot to put out two paints, didn't I? I haven't done this painting in like a year, I want to say. Maybe I did it a few months ago, but man, it all kind of blurs together, So, just while I'm off camera here, I'm going to get myself a nice little pile of phthalo green and a pile of alizarin crimson. So we got to make that nice gray color. And let's see if that's enough. Little phthalo green and crimson. Let's see if that works. Oh yeah, I'm not super active on the Discord. There's so many social medias, man. I'm an old man. I have a hard time keeping up with all the different ways to post the paintings. And I was, definitely a late joiner to most of the social medias. Very late to even Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I get Twitter notifications. I don't even go on Twitter anymore. That's too much. So what do we got? Did we mix it well? If you don't mix this right, like a nice 50-50, it just doesn't look right. Not to me. To get that nice gray color, almost like a gray, there we go, like a grayish purple. That's the color I'm looking for. I did it right. Let's see, I just want to see what happens if I add a little bit more crimson. Just for grins. Let's see what that does. Definitely turns it a little darker. There we go. That was probably a good idea then. So, what's everyone been up to? Hey, who else we got? Anyone? Oh, Kataria. Yes, how is she? I see her on Instagram, I believe. I missed all you guys. I should have stayed in touch better. now I've got my dark color. And of course, you can use brown for this. You can use black, whatever color you want. If I was going to teach this painting, I might not. Excuse me. Might not even have them mix it. So let's just go ahead and. Yeah, and it's different, Justin. Yeah, the phthalo green, exactly. The phthalo green is what does it. And then that keeps it transparent. That's definitely more than the Van Dyke Brown at this point. But, batches change too. And these, I've had different tubes that kind of give me a different look to them too. So, this one here is giving me a nice purple sheen to it. Let's just go ahead and... What I'm doing, a lot of times Bob draws these down, and I've done this before where I just went, and what it does is it picks up the paint a little more. So that I can give you as a tip here, as Bob's not able to explain why he tapped instead of swiping. It's been my experience here that the swiping will drag up a little bit more of the white. So every once in a while, I'm going to come over here. I got to start doing this a little bit more. Some of my paintings end up a little tilted because I'm constantly reaching over like that. So let me go ahead and... Oh, I think I overcompensated and tilted it the other way. So yeah, you might have to stare at old baldy head there. And we got a little bit of a crooked guy. That's alright. Bring this one down a little more. What do you say? I think we need a buddy, right? Right there. This definitely plays a little havoc with your fan brushes, so maybe use a little older one there if you're worried about the fan brush getting a little frayed out. Alright. And maybe there's a little skinny one way back here. Maybe a nice one that's far away. And I'm letting this one pick up a little bit of the white. That'll help make it look a little further away. There we go. And really, without cleaning the brush too much there, let's put a little skinny one back over here, over yonder way. There we go. Make up a story. Yeah, they definitely changed companies, but even still, there's been batch issues that I've seen with the older stuff, and things are changing for the better. I get a lot more good tubes than different tubes, so we're all good. We're all good. All right, let's see. Well, I suppose that we have to put a little bit branches and stuff, right? This is a banner occasion. Let's use something I rarely use, which is the liquid black. Put out, a drop or three right there. And before I end up with paint all over my shirt, scrape that up. Alright, somewhere around here I've got a script liner. I do. Just twisting, trying to squeegee out that paint, get a nice point to it. And so, what to talk about? Well, one thing I could talk about is I am following all my precautions, but I am going to be starting up teaching again. I'm pretty excited about. I did a class last month for 7 people at a new venue that was put off for the pandemic. Had a good time. I really missed it. And so I've got a few events coming up now. Yeah, this liquid black works pretty darn well. Don't have to worry about the paint thinner evaporating constantly. And flows off pretty nice. We're starting to make scary trees, I think. Little guys over here. Oh, it's like half this painting is branches, spookies. Sometimes I like to just make all the main branches. Then I come back and do the little squigglies. Ooh, that's a big tree. It's going to have big branches. And right now you can kind of figure out what trees might be in front of the other ones. It's already, this one's bigger, I think it's a little closer, so we'll say that one is going to be in front. Hey QO, SC2, nice to see ya. Making all sorts of branches here. Yeah, I think some of these branches, we don't know really what this tree is, but he's got some long stringy fingers here. Even sometimes this stuff is a little thick. If it doesn't come off, I'm going to add the tiny bit of paint thinner. I might just add 1/2 drop here. We don't want to add too much because of the reaction with the liquid clear. So we'll try to be very gentle with it. We don't want watercolor effects start plopping out. Yeah, I just did, the other day on Reddit, I did Fisherman's Trail, a different version of Fisherman's Trail with a different scene, but it's the one with where Bob uses the liquid clear and the paint thinner to make wood grain, a wood grain effect. That was fun. I really started to enjoy a different take on it. Instead of doing a mountain and a lake in front, I did a little wood scene with a waterfall. Thought it looked pretty cool, if I don't toot my own horn too loudly. It's nice to take one of Bob's paintings and make it your own. Change the season, change the time of day, change the brush that you use, or from a different one than Bob used in the episode. See what happens. Can only look good, right? So, because I'm not constrained to the 27 minutes or even the 45 minutes of Reddit, I'm going to take my time on these. Well, thanks. Thanks. It's kind of an effort not to mess with it constantly, but it is fun to have. I've never had excuse me. I never had a beard before. No more than a week-old stubble in all my years. All right, I think that's you get the point. Clean this brush really good. Okay. I think right off the bat we get to just dive right in, don't we? So I'm going to take, do I got a dirty 2-inch brush? I kind of do. I'm going to take a little bit of that dark color we made with the phthalo green and crimson. I just want to scrub a little in. I got blue and green down here. I want to darken it a little bit, I think. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more down here in the corners. I don't know. Something telling me I need to do that. Alright, let's clean the brush. It's been a while. I did that painting, I did 2 paintings that night, my last Reddit stream. I was cleaning brushes all night long. On the stream and off the stream. Alright, and then, tribute to Bob. Really clean, really dry. So, we got to start making the foreground. I beat the devil out of it quite a bit. Alright, let's get plenty of cad yellow. Let's come up here and grab a little bit more of the sap green. There we go. This should show up nice and bright. And let's see, we got to think about the lay of the land here. What way do we want it to flow? I say, well, we're kind of matching up with the episode here, so let's make it flow a little bit like this. I'm going to grab a little bit of Indian yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre, and just sort of beat it into the brush there. Gotta put it on a little heavier, right there, just so we can cover up a little bit of that stuff there. And over here, You know, I think right about there will do. It's a good start. It's a good start. Now, let's see the magic start to happen. I come back with the old fan brush. All these trees that didn't quite reach down there, just sort of adjust it right there. And just like that, this tree is closer. It's up in the foreground now. Same thing with this guy. He comes way down here. He's a big tree. He needs to be close. There we go. Give him a nice gnarly foot thing happening. And maybe this one comes down just a little bit here. Gotta give him the little foots. And maybe even a little shadow. Bob likes his foots. Just getting that there. And I'm going to come back with the 2-inch brush and sort of clean up that edge again. Take it easy. Oh, it probably left already. But if he heard me, let him be known. I requested that he take it easy. Got to get a little bit more of the sap green. We're starting to come forward. Should get a little bit greener, a little bit darker. Grab a little yellow ochre, Indian yellow. Change it up a little bit. All right, you know what time it is. You know, before I tell you what time it is, I'm going to do something here. There's a part there that's bugging me. Right there. I want to say there's a little bush. So I'm just going to knock it in there, and just to make things a little bit different, let's put another one right there, right at the base of that tree. Maybe something coming off right there. Gotta change things up, make it your own. There we go. All right, and now, let's see, I'm going to take my 1-inch brush, 659, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think I need a little bit of liquid white. All right, a little bit of liquid white. And let's see here. Let's go with yellow ochre. I'm gonna load that full of paint. Yellow ochre, a little bit of the cad, a little bit of the green, all the different colors here. There we go. Just changes it up. Quite nice. And maybe there's a little smashy stuff right down there. You never know. Throw it in wherever you like it. Alrighty. Oh, okay. Let us clear off a little space. Let's do a cabin. A little house. Last time I did one of these, it looked like an outhouse. Let's go ahead and put it. Oh, I forgot to do a little highlight right there. Just a little sparkler. And yeah, I'll do it now. I'm getting my order mixed up here, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and put a nice little house right here. Put a nice little eave. All right. Little side of the house. I'm going changing things up a little bit. Always make the house a little bit bigger than you need to. That way, when you do your housectomy, you get the right size. Make it a little bigger, and then you just trim off back to the right size. Gonna make this eave a little bit longer. Had to do a little adjustment on the fly. My eave wasn't going to be long enough. It looked kind of stubby. Still looks a little stubby. Let's bring the roof out a tad more. There we go. Boy, I just keep going over it and just changing it every time. There we go. And I can change that. Just blocking in the general color there. That looks about right. 2 a.m. Holy moly. Alright, let's take a little bit of white. Let's just do it right here. White, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown mixture. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that. I'm going to make a little brighter mixture. I made my shadow first on accident. There we go. So, let's see here. Which way do we want the light coming from? I think our light source is going to be here, so this should be a little bit brighter, and that's going to be the shadow. So let's go ahead and put in the bright side first. Brighter side, anyway. There we go. And then, I'll tell you what, I'm going to try this. Just a very light streak of white, just sort of rub it a few times just to maybe catch a little, there it is. Little highlight, little bright spot there. Then my shadow color I created here should be a little bit lighter than what's there. There we go. A little bit of a separator there. If anything, I can give that a little tiny touch of blue. Little hint of blue back there. Good. And that Eve is a little big, so let me just extend that up a little. That's more like it. And let's see, we're going to do a little bright red, a little dark sienna, and a little bit of white. I'm just going to drop in some shingles, this time individual-like. I swear Bob did this with one brush load of paint. I don't know where it all came from. He had some kind of magic knife, I think. There we go. Take a look at that. That turned out halfway decent. Alright, a little bit more white. Just a little touch of liquid white. Alright, very tiny amount, and I'm just going to bump it. It took 3 tries, but I got it. Put that little glint right up on the edge. There it is. Perfect. And we're going to need a door, so let's get some of that dark. Maybe a smaller door. Smaller door makes it look like a bigger house. Maybe it's a 2-story. Couple of windows. I think Bob did that different. He put a door there and 2 windows in the front, something like that. So, tiny bit of the liquid white. Drop my paint-filled brush. Just putting a little outline across there. There it is. That's always a danger spot, trying to put that little tiny line around the back windows there. And let's take a little bit of that brown, very, very small roll. Very small roll. Just going to touch a couple spots here. Gives it that board look. Board like planks, not bored like I'm so bored of watching Ted paint. Here we go. And let us just trim off a little bit, little housectomy. That worked out okay. All right. Just doing a little cleanup here. Chucking napkins, and you like that Moomba? The full-on profile. Yeah, it's out of control, isn't it? Nice little cabin. I like that. That turned out okay. Oh, I forgot to pick up my dirty brush, and while I'm doing that, clean up the paint. All right, so take some brown here. He built his house right in the safe spot there. Let's just hope that those trees are nice and healthy and they'll last a long time. Just gonna scrape in a path here. Just getting that dark color out there. There we go. Really just slathering it and scrubbing it in. Let the shape take care of itself. Anything we don't like, we just cover it up. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and put a couple streaks of white into that highlight mixture. Still too pale. Still too pale. Get a little bit more of the pure white. You know what? It's got a tiny hint of the green in it. Let's just see what that does. Yeah, just barely touched it. I want to get it a little bit marbly. There we go. Had to tint it a little bit. False alarm. I was worried I was drawing it, so I gotta go back and then just throw some in there. Let the canvas do the work. There we go. All right, so I think we should have some of that darker green right back up over here. Oh, I love that. Just pushes that house back, sinks it into the earth. And now we can start having some fun here. Create a whole little hill, just like that. Just tap it right in. And it sort of flattens out as it comes into the pathway there. Hit it a little harder, a little more paint comes off. But what I struggle with, and that's why I'm here giving you guys tips, don't feel the need to fill in every little gap. Leave some of the dark. Something I always struggle with when I'm doing the 2-inch brush style grass. Just, oh, I gotta fill it up, Greens, yellows, all this dull stuff here. Sometimes I gotta force myself. Stop. No more. No more color there. It's dark. It's dark. Oh, that actually looked kind of cool. One thing we're going to do, we got a little bit of light there. Let's go ahead and see if I can't get some of that out there. A little bit of liquid white. Maybe I can pick out a spot here or there that's just got a little bit of a zing to it. Alright, one of the big things I didn't do, and I saved until last here, was highlights and shadows on the trees themselves. Let me get a tiny bit more of the bright red. I'm using a little bit too much dark sienna. There we go. Let's go with that. Just a touch. Make a nice pinky color. Pink, pink. And then just a bare hint of the brown. Alright, our highlight side is over here. On the left today. All I'm doing is just touching, getting a couple little lines on there, and then moving it across the trunk to blend it in. It's a very, very, very thin line on the knife. go. Just working it a little bit at a time. No need to rush too much. Once you've done it a few times, you start to get a steadier hand. But still, I struggle with it. So you just got to keep practicing. The more you practice, the less rusty you get before trying it again. If there's any secret to this portion here, it's very, very, very thin rolls of paint. Barely like a hair diameter, you know, not quite that thin, but that's kind of what you're going for there. Very, very, very gentle. Start globbing it on there, it's just not going to work right. Oh, it's a big old tree, to be sure. Got one more over here. Alright, now I had some color here that was brown with a little bit of blue into it. I had to make up a little bit more. It's a phthalo blue and the brown. And right there, I think that's too much paint. Very thin roll. That's better. And then using the darker color, it's creating the illusion here of bark by having the lines, and also that's that little blue tint. It's kind of subtle. I'm doing it pretty subtle. You can be a little bit more bold if you want and have it really be much brighter blue. I like the subtlety. But I do like the bark on here. I like these lines. Reminds me of like hickory or just that really strong bark. I don't know exactly what kind of trees I'm making here. They're all dead. Yeah, you've got no leaves. But you can make it full of leaves if you want. To be honest, I think this guy needs a little bit more highlight. Looked like I just cut it off a little too soon. There we go. Well, I can just play with these back and forth, back and forth. Highlights and shadows. Just trying to find that nice transition between the light and the dark. Don't want it just pink and blue, one and the other. Kind of want it to blend over. See some shadows in all these little nooks and crannies of the bark. Something like that. So, come back here with a little bit of the yellows. Let's see if I can't sink this path in there a little bit more. Oh, I think that's going to be nice and shadowy right there. There we go. And you can play around with this endlessly. Endlessly. I'm tempted to just make a monster tree right in front. What do you guys think? I think we're going to call it. Come right in there, grab a little bit of the bright red. Going full Bob style today, signing in bright red. I don't really have a trademark color. I just sign with whatever's handy, but since bright red is here, signing a little bigger than I normally do too. Boy, this is a day of firsts. Alright, little T, little S, little 2-0. We got ourselves a painting. Not bad. I really I like my house. Looking at it like that, looks pretty good. There we go. So this should stay up for a couple of weeks. Hopefully my new followers, new and old, pop in. You need a leaning tree, huh? Not all trees are telephone poles. You do have that right. Trying to see here. Let me think. I do have enough paint, that's for sure. A leaning tree. Think it should go all the way across the path, or which way do you think? I'll leave it up to you. So many different ways I could come across there. That way. I think I gave you like 3 examples. Oh man. Kind of the land kind of sits down like that, so it makes sense if it was leaning this way. Then again, to the left. Leaning to the left. So like somewhere right here, all the way across the path, underneath. Like this. Or leaning to the left on the left side and leaning to the left. Left side leaning to the left. Or left side leaning to the right. Oh, above the house to over the signature. Well, that was excellent. I know exactly what you mean. Let's give it a try. Woo! That's a leaner. I like it. It's got a little crook to it. It's not perfectly straight. I like it. Alright, I think I need a touch more liquid black. I've had this liquid black for 5 years. Get to make some broken branches here. I like it. So, I think I need to mix up a little bit more of that pinky stuff here. All right. Starting to get too precise again. Gotta just let it go. phthalo blue. I'm going to get definitely a little bluer here. I want this one to kind of stand out. Want it to stand out a little? There we go. Oh, I like that a little better. That was the secret. Just a touch of white. I think I should have done that for the other trees. That was the secret right there. Look at those. Those are awesome emotes. And let's see if we can't get a little fancy here. Little shadow. Actually looks halfway decent. That was a great idea, putting that over the pathway there, or I'm sorry, over the house, I should say. Yeah, I'm actually halfway pleased with that. What a rarity. Well, I was glad to see some people pop in with no advertising or nothing. And who knows? Maybe I'll got to dedicate a night a week again. Been doing it quite a bit, but just not on Twitch. Maybe I should get back to that. I did notice I did have a subscriber. I'm not quite sure who that was. It sounds like I will. You know, I kind of miss this format, and I like being able to take a little bit extra time. And I'm so glad to have seen you again. Of course, I knew you would pop in. Why wouldn't you? You'd have to take some kind of act of God for you to not show up on one of my Twitch streams. So thanks so much. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, but on my Facebook, I did post that I'm doing some classes again and trying to be safe, wear my mask. But I'll talk to you very soon. I hope you have a good night, good week, good weekend. Talk to you soon. Wednesdays are good. Yeah, okay. Not too bad. I should, yes. It's a good idea. I'll talk with you soon.